Good day to each and everyone. In this class, let's study about ecology. So the ecology is considered to be as a very specialized branch of the biological science. The word ecology actually it comes from the two Greek words. It was for the first time German biologist H. Reiter in the year H. Reiter in the year 1868 who was for the first time introduced the word ecology, and later on it was Ernest Haeckel Ernest Haeckel Ernest Haeckel who used this term in the year 1869. Of course, the modern biologists agree that it was Ernest Haeckel who introduced for the first time the term ecology. This word actually includes the two words oikos and logos. Oikos means home or dwelling place. Dwelling place. Logos means study or discourse. In the Greek language, oikology means what? Oikos, home or dwelling place of living organisms. Logos means study or discourse. So, from these two words, that is from oikos, oikology, the term ecology, it is derived. Oikos means home or dwelling place of all the living organisms. Logos means study. It nothing but ecology, nothing but it is the study of all the living organisms in relation to their environment, in relation to their living habitat, is known as ecology. So, ecology, uh, it is very important, the branch of biological science. Today, it is otherwise also called by the name as a environmental science. Environmental science. Environmental science. So the environmental science, the knowledge of the environmental science gives us an idea about how all the living organisms exist exist together. So the study of the living organisms in their natural habitat is also termed as the ecology. How all the different living organisms exist in their natural habitat. How the plants, different animals, different microscopic organisms interact with each other, interdependent. And so the study of the interrelationships, interdependency, and interactions between living organisms and their environment is also known as the ecology or the environmental science. So the different ecologists defined the term ecology in their own words differently. So take for example, it was the Ernest Haeckel, the first, the ecologist proposed the definition of the ecology, that the study of the reciprocal relationships between living organisms and their environment is known as the ecology. So, in the words of Ernest Haeckel, ecology means it is the reciprocal relationships of all the living organisms in relation to their environment is known as ecology. On the other hand, the Taylor, at another the famous ecologist Taylor, who also defined the ecology, the science of all relationships of all organisms with their all environment, is known as the ecology by the Taylor, the ecologist. And the famous Indian ecologist, namely R. Misra or Mishra, who was also given the definition to the ecology: the study of the interactions of form, function, and factors is known as ecology by the R. Mishra. And on the other hand, Odom, Odom, at another ecologist, who also defined the ecology. In his words, ecology means what? The study of the interrelationships of organisms and their environment. Study of the interrelationships of all the organisms with their environment is known as ecology. So ecology uh, gives us an idea about how the different living organisms exist in an environment. Environment literally means our surroundings. Means what? The surroundings of the living organisms in which they exist. So the things of the world actually composed of the two important components: the biotic components biotic components and abiotic components abiotic components 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 biotic components and abiotic components. Biotic components includes all the living organisms, namely plants, animals, microscopic organisms. Almost each and every living organisms comes under biotic components. Then abiotic components includes non-living things, namely the air, the water, and the soil, and the forces of the nature, like nothing but the solar radiation or the solar radiation or the sunlight. Okay. uh, Physical forces, moisture content of the air, then all these comes under abiotic components. Abiotic components may be are of two types: physical and chemical. Physical and chemical. Physical components and chemical components, like that. So the uh, every environment actually includes biotic and abiotic components. In their environment, all the living organisms, namely plants, animals, and other microscopic organisms, uh, exist together and are interrelated each other, and they depend upon each other. in relation to their environment. So every living organisms constantly and continuously interact with their environment, namely the environment consists of the abiotic components, so with air, with water, with soil, with the sunlight, etc. So that is the ecology. Ecology can be studied under three different approaches, namely the taxonomic approaches. Let's take a look about approaches of approaches of ecology. Approaches of ecology. The first approach, it is taxonomic approach. Taxonomic approach. Taxonomic approach, habitat approach, and an organism approach. Habitat approach. Habitat approach. The third one is organism. Organism approach. Like that. Taxonomic approach means what? It is all about the study of the interrelationship, interdependency, interactions of all the living organisms in relation to their taxonomic groups. Taxonomic groups. So the taxonomists, namely the botanist or the zoologist, actually study the taxonomic approach of the living plants, animals, and other microscopic organisms. Habitat approach, it is at another approach of the ecology. It deals with, or it gives us an idea about how the different living organisms, namely the plants, other animals and microscopic organisms, how they how they exist in their natural habitat. That is a habitat approach of the ecology. Then the organism approach, it is at another approach of the ecology. By following this the organism approach, one can gain an idea about how different organisms, namely maybe specifically a single organism, how does it exist in its natural habitat, how it lives, how it how it actually adapted to its particular environment. Like that, these are the three different the taxonomic approaches. Taxonomic approaches, one can gain plenty of knowledge by following any of all the three taxonomic, habitat, or organism approaches of the ecology itself. So the ecology gives us an idea about the interdependency, interrelationships, interactions of all the living organisms. So every living organism naturally depend upon the water, the air, the soil, the sunlight, the moisture content, and different other the chemical components of the soil, water, and the air. So the pH of the soil, also pH of the water, also play a very significant role. Wind or wind currents, nothing but velocity of the wind also influence a lot. So different the climatic conditions play a very vital role. I shall discuss with the climatic conditions, the different climatic factors, their influence upon the different living beings, namely the plants, animals, and other microscopic organisms. So let's just take a look about the branches, specialized branches of specialized branches, specialized branches of ecology, specialized branches of ecology. So there can be many branches of the ecology, namely plant ecology, animal ecology, microbial ecology, and so on. So nothing but there may be a number of ecological branches. Take for example plant ecology. Plant ecology, it mainly concerned with the study of the interrelationships of all the living organisms with their respective environments in which they live. So it is all about the study of the plants in relation to their environment in which they live. It is called the plant ecology. Plant ecology. Plant ecology. On the other hand, animal ecology. Animal ecology is also at another the specialized branch of the ecology. It gives us an idea about how the different living animals related to their environment. It is the study of the interrelationships of the animals with their environment is known as animal ecology. Animal ecology. Microbial ecology is another specialized branch of the ecology. How the microscopic living organisms, namely the bacteria or any other microbes, any other virus particles, or any other single microscopic the fungi, usually live in their habitat. It is the study of the relationships of the microscopic organisms with their environment. So the number of microscopic organisms found to occur in a different environments, so that is the study of the living organisms, the microscopic organisms with their environment is known as the microbial ecology. Then there may be a freshwater ecology, marine water ecology, estuaries. Estuary is a place where the living body of the water, the large body of the river water, where it meets the sea or the salt water, known as the estuary. Estuarian ecology is at another branch of the ecology, which gives us an idea about how does the particular group of the plants, animals exist in such a estuary places, how they interrelated each other. And terrestrial ecology. Terrestrial ecology, it is at another branch of the biological science, the ecology. Then the population ecology, community ecology, human ecology, applied ecology, space ecology, radiation ecology, conservation ecology, then production ecology, pollution ecology, then environmental toxicology. It is at another the branch of the ecology. So the gene ecology, zoo geography, phytogeography, all these are considered as a specialized branches of the ecology. Then let's take a look about scope of ecology. Scope of ecology. Scope of ecology. What is the scope of the ecology? So presently, in these days, actually, ecology called by the name as a environmental science, the environmental study. Environmental study have got a very specialized the scope. Means what? The idea of the knowledge of the environmental science especially helps us in an agricultural area, in an afforestation, and in forest management, and wildlife conservation, and maintenance of the natural resources, and as well as conservation of the rare species of the plants and then animals. And the knowledge of this the ecology or the environmental science also helps us to control the pollution, and proper planning for the for conservation of the natural resources. So therefore we must understand, we must study the ecology in order to understand how the different species of the plants and then animals and other organisms exist in an environment, in what way actually they helps us to control the that is the control of the pollution, maybe helps us to conserve the natural resources for the management of the forest, like that. So this is brief the introduction about the ecology or the environmental study. uh, the one of the Supreme Court the judgment is like this: show the environmental study must be incorporated with the syllabus of uh, all the with the syllabus of all the different classes in India. So it is such a the branch of the biological science. It gives us an idea about the environment and the about the all the living organisms. Means what? How they how they exist together, how they interdependent each other, and so therefore it is very essential to study about the ecology. So I shall complete this, and in the next class I shall continue with the other aspect of the ecology. Thank you.